Let's dive a little bit more into time and see what you can do in After Effects. For this video, use the puppy shot that I've added to your video folder. Add that to a new composition just by dragging it in. So first, let's talk about freeze frames. So if you go to a point in your video and you want to freeze the frame, for example, maybe you want to add a title or, whatever you want to do, go to that point, right click, go to time, freeze frame. So this is going to create a freeze frame for this entire layer at this point. Now, what if you want it to play up until this point and then freeze frame? Let me undo this. There's a couple ways to do this. One would be to literally just duplicate this layer like so, Command D, take the top one, go to time, freeze frame, and then trim it to this frame. So this bottom layer is playing, and then when it gets to this one, it pauses. So that's one way to create a freeze frame. Boop, there it stops. The other is through time remapping. So time remapping, if we right-click a layer, and you can do this for video clips, you can do this for compositions, for animations, for pre-comps. Click time, enable time remapping. What you'll see is we have this new time remap option, and there are keyframes. And you know what we can do with keyframes? We can change the speed of things. We can animate things. So there's a keyframe at the beginning and at the end. So if you want to actually speed up this clip, you can take this last keyframe and move it forward or earlier. So now what it's telling After Effects is that from this first keyframe to the second keyframe, we need to play the entire video clip. And so that's speeding it up. If you want to create a freeze frame, what you can do is go to the frame that you want to freeze, set a new keyframe, go forward until you want the freeze frame to stop, and then copy this keyframe and paste it. So now it plays, got our puppy jumping around, it freezes, and then it continues to play. Now, the only issue with this, though, is that now the distance between this second keyframe that we set and this last one is actually shorter than the actual time of the clip. Between this one, let me delete this, and this one, the timing is the original. So this clip is actually in slow motion, so it's a little bit slower. But by setting this keyframe, the same one over here, it's actually speeding up the rest of this clip a little bit. So if you want it to be the natural sort of speed for this rest of this clip, you'll have to move this last keyframe to the right, the same amount as this keyframe is from this one. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know. What if we want to slow down time? Well, to see that, let's go to our Finder, bring in our bees clip that I just added to the folder, drag that into a new composition, right click, go to time, and then time stretch. So now you can stretch according to, the stretch factor. 100 is basically going to be no stretch. So if I click OK, nothing basically happens. This is just at the normal speed of the clip. So let's go back, right click, time stretch. If I put it at 50, you'll see the time change. So if it's at 100, the duration of this clip is 10 seconds. 50 will actually speed it up. Over 100 will multiply it. So 200 will be 2 times the speed. So just click OK. So now if we play this, our clip plays even slower. So a little bit of slow motion. And After Effects does a pretty good job at slowing down footage. So if you're looking for a way to slow down footage, even at lower frame rates, it does a decent job at doing so without getting that sort of jittery, stuttery look. The other way you can do this, and I'm just going to undo what I just did so we have the original speed, is with time remapping. And so that's basically enabling time remapping and then extending the distance between these keyframes. So let me just go to the point where I want this clip to stop. So say there, set a keyframe, and then extend the distance between this first and second keyframe. And now it slows it down. So you can see there's lots of different ways to do sort of the same effect in After Effects. Some are more efficient than others, and sometimes it's just a preferential thing. Those are some cool time tricks. It also works for animations. So for this hello title, so let's go back to our drone shot. If you wanted to slow this down, you can do a time stretch, you can do the time remapping and make it slower. And it works really well with animations and motion graphics built within After Effects because it knows exactly how to slow it down without getting that jittery, stuttery look that you might get if you're slowing down video footage from a faster frame rate to something that's really slow. Awesome. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll move on to new and more important things that you should know with After Effects.